guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I am back here at one of the little pieces of heaven for car enthusiasts. What is it? We are in California on Angeles Crest Highway, and look what I have here. This is it. This is your 2024 Subaru WRX TR. But before we get into this tuner-ready all-wheel drive performance sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. Subaru. They really shocked the world when they got rid of the WRX STI. But Subaru is trying to show their commitment to all-wheel drive performance, and they decided to bring a nameplate that actually first appeared back in 2006. 2006 was the first year of what many Subaru fans across the world called the Hawkeye. The Hawkeye went from 06 to 07, and I actually am very fortunate that I once upon a time owned a 2006 Subaru WRX STI. It's actually one of the cars that I regret selling over the years. But in 06 on the WRX, they had what was called the TR trim. Now, what does TR stand for? Guess what? I already gave it away. It stands for tuner ready. And what Subaru did was they felt like a lot of people were tuning their WRXs. They were making a lot of mods and different changes to them. So they decided, you know, why not just come out with like a base style vehicle to allow them to have a nice, easy time making those modifications. Now, what's fascinating is this TR takes a little bit of a different page when it comes to that tuner ready setup. You're gonna see that there's actually some changes that Subaru made on this TR that you're not gonna wanna change whether you're a tuner or not. But what I wanna find out is if you're looking for an all-wheel drive performance sedan, is this WRX TR the best one to go with, especially for the price? Let's go ahead, let's dive in our bright red WRX TR and find out. Right off the bat, it's crazy how red, I don't think of Subaru when I think of the red color, but it really fits the style of this TR very, very well. Now, at the front of the business, you're gonna get all of the great LED lighting, LED daytime running lamps, LED turn signals, and LED projector beam adaptive headlights. So they actually move with the steering wheel. Some of that great technology to help you when you're going down not only your favorite twisty road at night, or maybe you're going back to Subaru's original roots and you're doing some rallying. Now, working your way down, one of the zonks I have is this fake vent. Just make it smooth. That's all I needed, but I'm glad that they brought some rally-esque LED fog lamps. That was something that if you notice on the last generation of the STI, they got rid of the fog lamps. But on the WRX, I like the way that they kept that there, and that's gonna help with illumination. The big thing that still a lot of people are arm wrestling about, tongue wrestling, even mud wrestling about, is all of this flat black plastic. A lot of cladding on this current generation of the WRX. Let me know if it's grown on you or if you're still upset about it. Now, as we come across that Subaru badge, so much history, the constellation with those groupings of stars, that goes back to the early rally days. And when did it really come into fruition for Subaru was when you're looking at how they made the shift from the Legacy to the mighty Impreza. And this WRX can trace its lineage back to the original Impreza WRX back in 1994. But I like the gunmetal metallic gray, fully functional up top. And even though it is a lot of flat black, which I don't mind, I do like the way they angled this lower lip on the new WRX to help scoop gobs of air into that massive radiator that's lurking behind. Because remember, what's great about the WRX is just like all of the examples from the past, the intercooler for the turbocharger still sits on top of the flat four, not up front like you would find on, say, the outgoing Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. That vehicle always had the intercooler up front. Now, as we work our way up, You do actually get a larger width to the opening of that hood scoop, not really taller than the previous generations. Really, the highest when it came to the scoop was the 04 and 05 blob eye. That blob eye setup had the highest scoop out of them all. That personally is my favorite. But you are going to get the functional hood scoop, and I do like the body lines, especially the way they took the lines from the indentation and then actually made them go towards the A-pillars. Now, as we come around the bend, I know you're probably like saying to yourself, well, Joe, this looks like standard WRX. And guess what? You're right. But here's where the changes lie. First, right off the bat, you're going to notice these unique wheels specific to the TR. I'm digging the satin gray finish. You're going to have 6-piston Brembo calipers. So that is only available on the TR. Cross-drilled rotors. That's going to help cut down on that heat buildup. Plus, to be honest with you, they look pretty killer behind these 19-inch wheels. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of the tire? Well, first of all, let me tell you that these tires are upgraded from your standard WRX. They're actually S007s, Bridgestone Potenza S007s. And what's great about them, if you notice, and I'm going to have Steven kind of zoom in here, if you notice, they actually have a lower tread wear rating to give you more grip. Now, with this 19-inch wheel up front, you're looking at 245 on the width, 35 series sidewall, but I still got to zonk it. I still have to zonk it, even though they said that this golf ball texture increases aerodynamic efficiency. It gets to a point where I like a little look. I like a car to look good. And to me on the WRX, this is just not my favorite. And that's why I would recommend getting a black or a dark gray finish, dark gray metallic, because it hides the flat black a little bit better. But the good news is you are going to get functional venting on the backside. And I'm going to have Steven kind of swing around and show that off to you. So you are getting some actual functional venting there. Another thing is that with the TR, your suspension is actually going to be 5% stiffer. So you're not looking at a ton. We don't want to make it too stiff, but 5% all four corners, that's going to help cut down on any body roll and give us even better communication. And then, of course, we have Subaru's iconic symmetrical all-wheel drive. It's all-time all-wheel drive. Now, you do get color matched on the mirror caps, LED turn signals that are blended in. You'll notice that this TR trim is essentially based off the WRX GT. The WRX GT for the current generation is the top trim, and that comes standard with a sunroof. The TR, no sunroof, so we're actually cutting some weight, and we're increasing the rigidity of the chassis by not having an opening cut into the top. I also want to show you how you have color match on the door handles. And then you'll also notice how we have our side sill extension, that side skirt. It really is aggressive on the aero. It's just also aggressive on the amount of flat black. That's just my 2 cents. Now, working our way towards the rear, I do like the way they have that familiar sort of fender flare that comes off the rear doors into that fender, rear fender. And then swinging around back, the top part is my happy place. So I really like, hey, Rady's Rides fans, even out here in LA, you're gonna run into Rady's Rides fans. And it's very humbling. I can't do it without your support and of course without their support. But you're gonna have full LED lighting on the taillights. That makes me happy. I know some people are hung up about this metallic black trim that goes across the back. Steven doesn't really like it. I'm also kind of on the same page with him. Let me know if you like the gloss black that comes across, but with the Subaru badge, nicely located, and then right above that, you do have a functional rear spoiler. And I do like the way it's color matched. Where the wheels fall off the wagon a little bit, or where the wheels fall off the Subaru a little bit here, is as we drop down, all of this flat black And does it really need to stick out this far? I don't know if Steven could show you just how far. I mean, here's my hand. It's basically almost 4 fingers sticking out from this point, not even from the rear bumper area, but from this point where the reflector is. So kind of gives it an awkward shape at the end. But the saving grace is that we do have a functional quad tip exhaust, stainless steel tips. I do like that. And I do like the way they work this rear diffuser, simulated diffuser area. Looks pretty wicked on the bottom portion. And then of course you're gonna get the badging to let people know you got a WRX and you have that symmetrical all-wheel drive. The TR, just so you know, does not have a badge. So I guess you're gonna have to go down to maybe like a trophy shop or something like that to have them make you some badges if you're really into badges on the TR. The way to tell are the different wheels, which are unique to this car. And of course, when we look at those 6-piston Brembos. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk horsepower about this rally car. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts to hold open the hood. And you'll notice, like I said, one of my favorite things about Subaru engines is they don't use a bunch of plastic to cover everything up. Let me give you a little bit of a tour. You have your top mount intercooler for our 2.4 liter flat 4 turbocharged engine. There's your throttle body. You have your plastic intake with your 4 individual runners. And then you'll have other things, your oil filter, you have your AC compressor, your alternator. And if you ever wonder, what is this thing over here? That is your ABS unit. But those are the types of things that when you're a car person, it's kind of cool to be able to see when you pop your hood. Now, let's talk about the performance. The good news is you're getting more horsepower than the previous gen. The bad news is it's not a whole lot, and the WRX TR does not get any additional improvements underneath the hood. So what you're looking at is still a 2.4 liter turbocharged flat 4 producing 271 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. Here's the kicker, and one of my favorite things about this TR, 6-speed manual transmission only. So the WRX GT, which is the top trim, comes with a CVT only. This comes with a 6-speed manual only. If you know how to do the dance on your twinkle toes, 0 to 60 in about 5.3 seconds, top speed 145 miles an hour, MPGs 19 in the city, 26 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 3,450 pounds. What is also great about the increased rigidity of the suspension is you're also going to get those larger rotors. So not only are they cross-drilled, not only are they 6-piston up front and 4-piston out rear, you actually have an inch larger rotor up front and then an 1.5 inch size larger on the rear rotors. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this flat 4 turbocharged engine and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Subaru WRX TR. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I was a little pissed off. I have to admit, I was pissed off when I heard that they got rid of the WRX STI. Especially, I was waiting to see what it was going to be like on the new platform. But I'm kind of curious about this WRX TR, especially because back in college, I had a 2006 WRX TR that was World Rally Blue. So my question is, Joe, lay it on me. I have a family now, so I can't just go blow gobs of money. How much is this WRX TR? MSRP, $42,775. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. The best interior door panels of any WRX before it. Soft touch material up top. I love the way you get the Alcantara with the red stitching from the GT. And you do have a little bit of faux carbon fiber. I'm okay with it. It's nothing too gaudy, and I'd rather have that than gloss black. No gloss black around the switchgear. Door pocket is a little on the tighter side. So maybe just one Einstein bagel with a guacamole schmear and a bottle of peach kombucha to wash it down, and you do get the Harman Kardon sound system. Now going from the door panel to the dash, same thing. Alcantara material, the red stitching. I like this flat gunmetal gray finish. Almost looks like the finish on the wheels. And then you come on in, everybody gets the same infotainment system on all new Subarus. What is that going to be? That 11.6-inch portrait-style infotainment system screen. I do like the way it's integrated. I'm just not a big fan of portrait style. I'd rather have landscape, but you do get your full navigation. You can see Angela's crest, some of the twists and the turns. I do like the way you have your extra gauges up top, especially for oil temperature and water temp. Those are two temps you need to keep your eyes on. You do have actual real knobs for your audio, and you do have buttons for the dual climate. The only zonk is that everything else is in the screen, but you don't slide. You don't have to slide. You actually just tap. I do like that. So I'll give it a half a zonk, not a full zonk. You'll notice that as we kind of slide up top, you'll see the side over here of the eyesight. So you actually get eyesight on this WRX TR. That is a first with the manual. Working our way down, USB-A, USB-C, aux jack, and a 12 volt. Highly recommend a radar detector. You do have a place for 4 Rally Twinkies. See the material? Once upon a time, this was never in a WRX. So I do like the red stitching, nice soft touch material. This is where the magic happens. I can road through this all day long. Nice 6-speed manual transmission, short throw, good crisp engagement. I just like the leather and the classic style with the red stitching. A little bit of flat silver, good old-fashioned mechanical e-brake. No electric e-brake in here. You do have a little cup for some Tootsie Rolls, maybe some Jolly Ranchers or Atomic Fireballs. 2 cup holders. You're still going to get the same Subaru key fob. It works. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. Nice padding on the armrest, more red stitching. Lift it up. Another 12 volt, and you have enough room in there. I would say you could put 4 Subaru models, 4 WRX STI models that you have, the 1/43rd scale that you actually had signed by Petter Solberg, by Colin McRae, by Ken Block. Some of the greats, you could keep those in there. And when you go to a car show, you could display them on your dash. And that'll get people excited for you. Seats, right out of the WRX GT. These are the Recaros, the Alcantara, the leather, the bolstering, manual adjustment for the passenger, power adjustment for the driver. The one thing I can tell you is that these seats are way better than the Recaros on the previous generation. Love the bolstering. The materials are great. And just so we're on the same page, when we say that this is Alcantara material, that's the name of the company that makes it, not the name of the material. It's actually a micro suede material. It's not actually called Alcantara. It's the company. It's sort of like a Q-tip. They're not really Q-tips. They're cotton swabs. Q-tip is a brand. See what I did there? I just educated you like that. One thing to remember, no sunroof on the TR. You got to go a different trim and get a sunroof, or go the GT trim, and that automatically comes with a sunroof. I could care less. I don't want a sunroof. I'd rather save the weight and have some rigidity. But why don't you go ahead and get your butt over here? I got a flat bottom steering wheel and some red stitching I want to show you coming over. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. Pedal box right out of a Subaru rally car. Love the aluminum dead pedal, clutch, brake, and throttle, all aluminum. And guess what? To this day, one of my best and most favorite pedal box arrangements, because check it out. Heel, toe, downshifting all day long. Really did a great job with the pedal setup. I like these extra thick carpets with the WRX embroidery. The reason why I like them, that's worth an extra 5 horsepower. You do have your 8-way adjustable seat on the passenger side. Like I said, the bolstering is great in here. Don't worry, it's not gonna squeeze you like a vice grip. I do like the extra width of them on how high it comes up because it really does hold you in nicely. Steering wheel, leather all the way around. You got that Babe Ruth signed baseball style stitching. A little bit of that faux carbon fiber with the WRX name. Flat black on all the switch gear. Manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you have that small digital gauge cluster in the center. And then of course you have the analog tach, analog speedometer on both sides. And you do have a digital gear indicator as well. But I've always liked the clean, clear, concise arrangement of the gauges. Let's get into the back seat because I am chomping at the bit to hit the twisties. Let's get to it. All right, guys, back seat time. And this is what makes the WRX so good is that you could bring friends along and they're not going to be squished like a walnut. Like, you know, like around the holidays when you get a walnut in a shell and you get the nutcracker and you're like, your nuts are not going to get cracked back here. And I can appreciate that. Trust me. Leather all the way around the back. Nice large pockets. You could put a couple issues of, Street Tuner magazine. Maybe some Super Street back there. Even though they don't publish Super Street magazine anymore. You could keep some of the collectible ones back there when they were talking about Subarus over the years. I do like the way you do get a USB-C and a USB-A, but I don't like the way that they show you that these are technically supposed to be rear heated seats, but you don't get that on this WRX. Sitting here, very comfortable, same great seat material. You do get a center armrest, Charmin soft with 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in that trunk because I want to go that away in this WRX. All right, guys, time to check out the trunk. This is one of the things that you don't have to go get some SUV. Even if it is a performance spec SUV, you can stick with a sedan. We actually have our luggage in here, no problem. 2 carry-ons, and there's extra room. The seats do fold down 60-40 split, and that's gonna allow you to easily get 4 wheels with tires mounted. So if you wanted to have a separate set of tires on a separate set of wheels for your track day, for your autocross event, all of that will fit in here. And that's what makes the WRX such a versatile vehicle. But why don't we go ahead? If you're ready, I'm ready. Do you hear that? The twisty bits are calling me. It's time to go on throttle. Let's get to work. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 WRX TR. TR standing for what? Yes, you are correct. Tuner ready. Out here on Angeles Crest Highway, and we're gonna see just if all the sums of the parts come together for this WRX TR. Right away, I'm feeling that extra rigidity from the suspension, from the lack of a sunroof. Of course, braking has now been intensified because we have those 6-piston Brembo calipers up front, larger rotors at all 4 corners. Heel toe downshift is just a dream in this vehicle, it really is. Another thing that they did to this car is that they worked with the steering rack to quicken up the ratio a little bit, to quicken up the steering input, and it's really showing on Angeles Crest Highway, especially when you're doing those left-right transitions. It feels really good and the communication is really good. All right, guys, I'm gonna slow down here. Nobody's behind us. We're gonna do a slow roll first gear. 3,500 RPM on throttle, here we go. You definitely like you're gonna have to wind this out to 6,000 RPM to really get her up and going. But once she's going, she's good to go. I think the feedback is really key in how this WRX performs. And I really like the extra grip I'm getting from those Bridgestone tires. Tires are everything, guys. It's like you could shed at some tracks, you could shed 5-6 seconds just by changing your tires. And what I mean by that is getting a grippier set. Love the action of the shifter, that 6-speed manual. So glad it's there. Look at that. This thing is really eating up the corners very well. Of course, you have that balance setup. Really nice. Look at this. Here we go. Yeah, the back end comes out just a little bit. Just a little on this all-wheel drive car. Look at that. I'm happy to say that even when you're running it really hard into a corner, you're not getting the front end plow that sometimes an all-wheel drive car can possess. And that really goes into the tuning that they've done with the suspension and with how this vehicle drives. I think the one thing that I'm really missing is I would like a little bit more horsepower. I think with the demise of the STI, it would be nice to at least have a trim of the WRX, and this would be a perfect one to maybe get 300 horsepower. That would be just that little extra something special that I think the price tag kind of really says, hey, you should offer. But when it comes to the seats holding you in well and how the vehicle makes you feel, I'm feeling fantastic out here. On throttle, here we go. 6,000 RPM, pulls and pulls. Look at this, nice. It's great that even on pavement that isn't super smooth, you're still getting good feedback from the suspension, from the front of the car, and from the back of the car, which is really nice. And then the best part is the seats are holding you in so well that you can feel in control and know exactly what all the different parts of this WRX are doing at any given moment. But it's impressive the amount of grip that you have with those Potenza tires and the balance. I mean, I would like to have a little bit more engine noise, a little bit more exhaust noise. It's really needed in this vehicle, and the first thing I would probably change is going to be the exhaust. But I'm going to make a quick U-turn here. Piece of cake. If you're ready, I'm ready. Second gear. Here we go. Nice. On the brakes. Look at this. Look at this. You can hear those tires working, which, remember, a squeaking tire is a happy tire. Tell you, the brake pedal feedback is phenomenal. I feel like I can modulate the brake pedal just really precisely at any given moment, and it really helps with being able to figure out where I need to be at any particular moment. But I tell you, there's no body roll in this thing whatsoever. She corners really solid, even over the bumps and stuff. I mean, she's eating up these corners like I eat Twinkies. Nice, look at that. Woo! Yeah! Gearbox is just a hot knife and butter, man. Love this box. Fan-freaking-tastic. It really, really is. It's just a car that rewards you the harder you push, and yet you can daily drive it all the time. All right, guys, one more time for me, definitely one more time for you. On throttle, here we go. Look at this. Oh, I love this road. Love these corners, feels good. Nice. It's just interesting that when you're driving an all-wheel drive car, how much grip you have and how it handles differently than a rear-wheel drive car or a front-wheel drive car. And remember, at this price point, you know, you got the GR Corolla, you have the Elantra N, and you have the Civic Type R. That's gonna be your main competition there. I would love to have all of them lined up and do a back-to-back-to-back setup on it and see exactly which one would I spend my money on. I'm still thinking though that for the money, I'm thinking Type R is still the way I would go. I would be curious to drive a GR Corolla out here. All right, guys, I lied one more time for me. We gotta do it again one more time for you. On throttle, here we go. Look at this. Ripping a road. It's like a big piece of Laffy Taffy that I'm just chewing up. I tell you, it's really smooth. It is smooth how it handles the bumps and everything. Especially this corner. Does a really good job. Look at this. Here we go. Nice. Love the heel toe downshifting it. Look at this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, the grip. Look at this grip. Yeah. It just puts a smile on your face, man. Oh, this is so good. I could do this forever and ever and ever, but we gotta get back, I promise you, and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a Subaru second. All right, guys, it's been another amazing kind of day out here on Angeles Crest Highway. Beautiful sunny day with this bright red 2024 Subaru WRX TR. I want to thank the whole Subaru team for allowing us access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. What you have seen with the changes that Subaru has made with the on-throttle twisty bit driving experience on Angeles Crest Highway. Is it worth the price? And is this the best new all-wheel drive performance car to buy? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. Of course, we didn't give it up to Stephen Flood Photography, working that camera like a champ. He loves Subaru. He actually has a tattoo of the Subaru badge right above his belly button. So one of these days, I know Stephen wants to show it off. We'll give him some airtime. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.